welcome. Glad to have you here.
Great to be here.
You are the president and CEO of Take Stock in Children, an organization that does a lot of good for a lot of young people and has for a number of years. So we're going to talk about it, but why don't you give your own description of the mission of Take Stock in Children?
You know, it's simple, to change a life. For almost 20 years, we've been serving Florida. We've served 22,000 low-income students, helped find a pathway towards economic mobility and prosperity. We have a model of high accountability. Our students sign a contract to be drug-free, crime-free, stay in school, and be engaged. Their parents sign a contract that they'll be engaged in helping their child arrive to educational milestones. And then we find a mentor in the community that mentors that child, and as a result mentors that family into the opportunities and possibilities that are out there. And when the students graduate high school, we have a scholarship for them, and that's their access to post-secondary education.
Wow. That's from maybe meeting up with someone in middle school all the way through, you know, college.
Yes.
And graduation from college.
That's right. And so many of our mentors have relationships with their mentees into after college and into life and marriage and kids.
Wow. I'll tell you what, let's take, for an example, one of those kids right now who's out there that's been through that path. And then I want to get to some of the statistics. But let's take one of those lives, or maybe a couple that you can think of right now, where that life has been changed by being a part of your program.
So, you know, a young man that comes to mind is someone who was in an alternative high school, was on the border of dropping out, didn't really have that support system at home. And as a result of that mentor and that relationship, he went on to complete high school, graduated from Columbia University, and is now in a master's economics program. You know, talk about changing that life, the trajectory for him looking to be probably, you know, a dropout to now earning his college degree, and not only giving back, but really looking at how he shapes, you know, our country around economic at a top university. So like that, Steve, there's so many kids. One of the things that I love is to travel the state, because I bump into our alumni or to students in the program. Yesterday I was in a mentoring program in South Florida, and one of the individuals that's there was with American Express and part of our program. She's a graduate and came up and she said, "This changed my life. This program changed my life, and my mentor really put me on the path towards success."
Well, let's just look at some of the data, but let's put some human faces with the data. I think you mentioned that 22,000 children from across Florida. This program is active all across Florida, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Take Stock in Children has generated over $130 million in Florida prepaid scholarship assets. Talk about that. How does that work, and to do what?
So our model is based on a mentoring scholarship model to college. And so we are the #1 purchaser of Florida prepaid scholarships. We are really a model of private-public partnerships. Every dollar, every private dollar that we raise and that our affiliates raise statewide is matched dollar for dollar by the Florida Prepaid Foundation. We then purchase a scholarship for that child. So when we bring a child into the program, we make sure that that child has a mentor and a scholarship. So you're not into our program and later on we might find a scholarship for you. No, we provide that scholarship up front so that we can create a college-going culture in that family. So it's not if you go to college, it's when you go to college, where you're going to go to college and what you're going to study, because we know that one of the reasons that many children don't attend college is the financial barrier, and we remove that financial barrier by having that asset for the student.
What an incentive.
Yeah, you got to work hard and it's there for you.
Take Stock in Children has generated, I thought this was amazing, over 1 million mentor volunteer hours, and currently has over 7,500 mentors.
People like you and I and community leaders making an impact. Our mentors are amazing. They really are the backbone of our program. It's an in-school mentoring program, so they visit their mentee in school once a week for an hour. I think that's really impactful because we bring the community into the school, and that allows for other partnerships to evolve as well. But we've had great mentors, and today still have, from Governor Jeb Bush, was very strong mentor in our program, and today the Speaker of the House, Will Weatherford, mentors in our program, and many Floridians that not only are corporate leaders but also community leaders mentor. And I think when I talk to them why they find the value, it's high accountability. Our students are accountable. They sign a contract that they're going to be engaged in this mentoring relationship. And I just talked to a mentor the other day, and she said to me, I get so much more out of it.
I was about to say, probably the mentors are changed by the experience.
I think they are. Just for myself, I think that any time that you volunteer and you give, you're always changed much more by that. And I think, our children are the human capital of our state. In them, we see hope. And anytime you can impact a young life and influence them to make some right decisions in their life has to be incredibly rewarding.
You're among a number of advocates for children who are in the state capitol, letting the legislature and others know that you're here and you appreciate the focus that they have on children and what they need for now and in the future. What are you following? What are you letting people know that you're interested in and that you appreciate them focusing in on behalf of the children?
So I think first, there's no doubt if you're a child advocate, it's about early childhood education. Everything we can do on the front end really helps set that pathway. But I think sometimes it isn't the ideal situation. They get into middle school, and then there's mentoring programs like ours helping at that moment in time. Our economic prosperity in our state is really relying on the children of our state. Will they be contributing? It used to be a time where you could graduate from high school and that was your ticket into the middle class. Today, more and more post-secondary education is required for those jobs. And so how do we make sure that we level the playing field for all children in Florida to have a pathway toward that success and be able to give back to our state and be able to contribute economically to our state as well? So we look at all of those. Any legislation or programs that are out there that can provide access and opportunity to children, we certainly are supportive of.
Let's talk a little bit more about mentoring, because I think that's kind of at the heart of your success. And there may be people out there right now watching us talk and they're thinking, well, can I possibly be a mentor? Maybe I'm not that capable of doing it, or maybe they're thinking, I want to do it, but can I? What would you say to that person?
I'd say that you can change a life over lunch. Just come into one of the schools and have lunch with one of our students once a week, and you can change that life. That's the commitment. So the commitment is to just visit the school, visit that mentee once a week, be engaged, attend the college and career readiness workshops and the mentor toolkits that we put out. You're not doing it by yourself, I'd say. You have a community of almost 8,000 mentors in the Take Stock in Children family that will be there with you every step of the way. So if you visit our website, www.takestockinchildren.org, we give you the step-to-step process for you to be able to become a mentor in your community and mentor a child.
What led you to this job? I know you had another life before this job, but this is something that you're excited about. I can tell by interviewing you and talking with you. But what led you to this job?
Make a difference. And I spent 20 years in higher education at Miami-Dade College. I was a campus president. And I've always wanted to make a tremendous impact and difference. I did at the college, but I think this program, the model of high accountability for the children that we serve, the requirement of parental engagement, so you don't get a free pass, you're engaged. And the opportunity for a mentor in our community to change that life is really what has me excited. Our poverty numbers continue to go up in our country, and the ones who are most hurt by it are children. And they didn't ask for this, but this is the cards they're dealt with. Our program, the program that I'm privileged to lead in this great state, makes an impact in that child. We can change the trajectory. And to see that and to wake up every morning to advocate for the children in our state and to raise dollars to change a life is all you could ask for in your body of work, and I'm passionate about it.
Well, you know, one of the things that is encouraging about Take Stock in Children and in your message is hope. I mean, it seems that so much of what you see on television, what you hear about, particularly among children at risk, is that there is no way out, that there's a permanent underclass, and people can't get out of that underclass. And yet, what I'm hearing from you is that there are ways out. And what would you say to perhaps a child who might hear about this? How can they get involved? What can they do to maybe take advantage of this opportunity? Are there ways that children themselves can say, I want to be mentored?
So I would say to that child, to give him a story of India White, a student who was in a homeless shelter while she was in our program. Her mentor told her, just get up and go to school every day. School is the way out. And she graduated from high school, went to university, she graduated, and today she's a math teacher in Hillsborough County, and she's a mentor in the program. And so I say to that young adult sitting now saying, how can I change my life? Find that mentor. Whether you're in Take Stock in Children or not, ask someone to mentor you. Go to someone that you look up, a role model. We're generous people, and we give of our time. I think that's true for our state. And so I'd say take that step and then ask your counselor about Take Stock in Children. But remember India's story. She got up every day and she went to school. She graduated, and today she's a teacher and she mentors. And so that's the hope, and that's the fuel that keeps me going in the work that we do.